Welcome to another Chrysalis walkthrough. Chrysalis is the premier church child theme for Divi. This walkthrough is all about groups. So a lot of churches like to think of their discipleship practices in terms of small groups. But whether or not you do that, chances are you have a lot of different groups or activities that people can participate in your church. Groups is a way that you can allow people to interact with those activities and to help onboard them, both for visitors and for congregants. So I should note right at the beginning that the way we made groups work is we've essentially repurposed projects in Divi. We've worked on a lot of church websites and we never found a lot of great uses for that project post type, which is meant more for portfolios. But it actually makes a really good option for groups because of all the fun ways that you can display them. For instance, this wonderful group grid that's on the groups page. All right, so other things to note about the groups page is that it has this group spotlight, which are groups that is the group that has the category featured. This is a good section if you have a new group that's launching or you have a new book study or something and you want to make sure that they're displayed prominently. This button simply goes down to the next section where you see this group grid. And then, also groups inside our church aren't the only groups we might want people to get involved in. You can also list groups in the community that the church supports. That's it for the groups page, so it's not terribly complicated. Let's look at an individual group. All right, so here we see the youth group with the featured image displaying in the header. If you don't have a featured image, there'll just be a nice gradient displaying there. And then in the corner menu, you see all of the categories that group inhabits. Then next you see the meeting time, the meeting location, and the organizer. And if you click on one of these, like the meeting time, it actually drops you down to that. And if you click on the organizer, it drops you down to that section. So next is the description. This is actually just fully open to the block editor, which I'll show you in a second. So you can put as much stuff in as you want to in here. You could put nice photos. You could put a sign-up form. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you could do with it. This post type is smart enough to know that if you haven't filled in any of these details, that it won't show that section. It'll hide it. So you shouldn't have any empty sections. All right, let's look at the back end. So I'm going to hit Edit Group. And you'll see it's just using the WordPress block editor, which we recommend for all posts in Chrysalis. And like I said, you could put pictures here, you could put sign-up forms, you could integrate other plugins into this space. And then here's all the custom fields. So just like we did for sermons, there's very detailed instructions for how to use the group posts. Then there's a place you can put in the meeting location, the meeting time. And, if you don't have a location, an answer might be location to be determined, or you could leave it blank. Same with meeting time. If it's not very consistent, you can just say variable, or you can say see calendar for more information. And then the calendar link. So this is for if your group has a category in the calendar, you can actually send them right to that calendar page to show all the actual meeting times for that group, but you'd have to actually create a calendar category for each group to send them directly to the list. You would just link right to that category page. The name of the contact person for this meeting, their phone number. So if you don't want to give out personal phone numbers, you could always just put the church phone number, or you could say call the church at blank, and then the church could inform them. Similarly, if they don't want their email address listed on the site, you could have them email the church, and then you could forward on their information. This requires a mail to link to work. This is actually made to link work with a link, so just make sure you put that mail to in there before you put the email address. And that's pretty much all the custom fields. Don't forget about the featured image, and then obviously you set your categories over here. We have some popular ones in here already: education, featured, visitors welcome. That category, those groups show up on the welcome page. Those are visitor-friendly groups that people can get onboarded into. And tags are here, but we're not really using tags with groups. So that's what the back end of group posts. Let me show you two more advanced things that relate to groups. The first is the custom field settings. So if you're an advanced user and you're familiar with advanced custom fields, you can edit your group fields here. But to get them to display on the front end, you'd have to actually use the Divi theme builder. And I'll show you the theme builder themes that relate to groups here. So this basically shows you what an individual group looks like, how it's going to display on the page here in the theme builder. So it's basically everything that we've already seen, but you can see how it's set up in the theme builder so that that dynamic post displays the content dynamically. Again, for advanced users, it's probably safer to change the design elements like the colors and stuff in here, but you know, where it's showing the dynamic content, you want to be careful about that. All right, and that's groups. Thank you for checking out this walkthrough for Chrysalis, the premier church child theme for Divi. Please check out all of our other walkthrough videos or visit faithspring.com for more information.